Hi, my name is Brian Baldwin, and I'm the external evaluator of the Noyce Master Teacher Fellows program at Mercy College. And this is the evaluation of the first year of the project. So what I'd like to do is to start with an overview of the evaluation from a big picture, and then in subsequent slides, we'll drill down a little bit farther into the details of the data and so forth. And so we're going to start with the recruitment and the strategies for collaboration with local high-need school districts in and around Mercy College, which is located in Westchester County, which is a northern suburb of New York City. We'll go into the coursework of the program and the structure of the program for the teaching fellows. We'll look at data sources ranging from survey instruments to observations and semi-structured interviews. And finally, we'll finish with analysis and recommendations for the upcoming years of the project. So in terms of recruitment, this project was built upon a very strong series of relationships that the project administrators had with local high-need school districts from previous projects, both funded by NSF and elsewhere, which has been very beneficial to the project in terms of receiving buy-in from the school districts because of the substantial positive relationships previously, but also individual teachers interested in becoming fellows in the project know that they have the support of the administrative staff within their school and within their district. So thus far, 2 cohorts have been recruited, 7 teachers in the first cohort, and 7 teachers have been recruited for the second cohort that starts this summer and fall. Recruitment has thus far not been a problem. However, it could be a challenge for upcoming years, and it's something that we want to pay pretty close attention to, because as this project continues and the 4 districts remain the same that are partner districts within the grant, we could run into some saturation in terms of the number of teachers that have been recruited for the project, and how many more master teachers are willing and able to participate in upcoming years. So that's something we're going to look close at. But most of all, the strategy here is to continue the great relationships that have already been established with these districts, knowing that good work with the teachers and with the schools and with the college begets strong interest and strong recruitment. So that's something that we're going to continue on. So the program coursework and the structure for the fellows, there are 3 required courses in the program. There's a course called Enhancing Science or Math with STEM, Engineering for the Classroom, and Leadership in STEM Education. Those are all 3 required courses that all fellows must take, I believe, within their first 2 years as fellows in this program. If the fellows are interested in earning a certification in STEM education leadership, there are 3 additional courses that are required for them that the written evaluation report goes into a little bit more detail on. Additionally, there is a professional development requirement / opportunity at the Center for the Urban River at Bexac, which is an environmental education center that is housed on the Hudson River in Yonkers, which is in close proximity to Mercy College. This particular research and education station is managed by Sarah Lawrence College, a liberal arts college also in Westchester County. And finally, there are many opportunities for leadership projects within the fellows' home districts and schools. That is another requirement, both of the call for proposals, but also for this project itself. So we collected a bunch of baseline data from the instruments. We used the Science or Math Teaching Efficacy and Beliefs Instrument, the STEBI or the MTEBI, the Questionnaire on Teacher Interactions, the QTI, the Teacher Collaboration Assessment Rubric, the TCAR, the Danielson observation rubric, as well as observations and semi-structured interviews with all the stakeholders on the project. So the study. This measures 2 subscales. This is an instrument that is completed and administered to the teachers themselves, or the fellows themselves, and it measures 2 subscales, teaching efficacy as well as outcome expectancy. And this is given to all of the teachers, regardless of whether they are science teachers or math teachers, because this is a STEM integrated project, and the teachers are learning to become STEM leadership professionals. All teachers are taking both the the science and the math efficacy and beliefs instruments. So you'll note from the data presented here, the subscale scores were pretty solid. These are scores that are out of 5. So there are a number of questions, in fact, 23 questions, 23 items on this instrument that measure these 2 subscales. So for the fellows to score in the 4 and above range for both of these subscales indicate fairly high levels of confidence that the teachers have in their own professional abilities to be successful as teachers, but also to be successful in terms of providing their students with positive outcomes. We're going to watch these in upcoming years to see how additional cohorts, as well as these initial cohorts, answer the questions on this survey in years to come. Next, the QTI has 2 subscales, leadership and helpfulness. This is a survey instrument that is given to the fellows themselves that asks them to predict how their own students would rate them as in terms of their own professional leadership capabilities in the classroom, as well as their helpfulness in the classroom. It's very interesting to note here, this was a scale of 0 to 4. It's very interesting to note that the teachers did not predict that their students would rank or rate their professionalism or their helpfulness as high as possible. So this is something that I think that there is room for the teachers to professionally grow, because they have already come to the realization or the prediction that their students might not rate these attributes in their teachers as highly as they could be. So this is something for us to watch. The Teacher Collaboration Assessment Rubric, the TCAR, this actually is a rating scale of 0 to 2, and this rates the project leadership PLC, and in this case it was on the course design and the implementation of the project itself. It measures 4 subscales: dialogue, decision-making, action, and evaluation. Again, the scores on these subscales are very solid, and there's a little bit more detail in the written evaluation report on this. And again, we want to keep track of this as the program progresses. This really measures how highly functioning the program administration is regarding these particular aspects of the program itself. The Danielson framework, this was an indication of the teacher's professional abilities in the classroom. This involved both classroom observations as well as teacher videos of themselves teaching lessons. And again, these teachers, as noted by others, these teachers scored very highly and ranked in the proficient and distinguished range in their teaching skills. Qualitative data consisted of observations and interviews of the PLC. Again, this really indicated to me professionally a very high degree of collaboration during the project meetings. I was present for all of the meetings, whether in person or virtually. Everything was discussed, from recruitment of fellows to participate in the program, to planning the syllabi, to planning programmatic modifications and decision making and so forth. Everyone was involved, every voice was heard, and the TCAR survey that I mentioned previously really indicated that the professional administrative staff of this project also felt that the project benefited greatly from high levels of collaboration. Finally, big picture analysis. Their recruitment was not an issue. Participation and self-selection of the teachers to become fellows was not an issue either. This certainly was reflective of the high degree of previous relationship that Mercy College had with these partner school districts, and possibly with some of the school district administrators that often act as gatekeepers for the project itself. So this was very successful. The teachers themselves were willing to become part of and participate in this project, knowing that they had already been selected as leaders within their schools and districts, but they felt that they still had more to learn, so they wanted to participate and continue participating through the lifespan of this project. The fellows, as we saw with one of the surveys, the fellows were aware that and predicted that their students might not find their helpfulness or skills, professional skills, at levels that are as high as the teachers could be. So this is something that the fellows essentially self-reported that they want to work on and practice on. In general, this was a very successful first year, from planning to recruitment to execution. So all of these things we're going to keep tabs on over the course of the second year of the project, and I hope that this was helpful in really an executive summary of what has happened during the first year of this project.